Well, I mean, we've got like the Jolly Jumper like on the ground.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect that we also incorporate quite a bit. And then there's the sleeper hold. So, you just put the sleeper hold on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's too small for the $1 million dream, though. That's the only drawback.
He'll get there.
He will.
His head will grow into it.
Yeah, well, and it's his arms too, right? Because his arms aren't long enough to like wrap it around while I come in. And
it's amazing that no one else has done that.
Yeah, it is. It is really weird.
Like, everyone does a regular sleeper, but like...
But I think what it is because the $1 million dream, that's a finisher move, for one. Two, very, like, nobody's doing submission holds.
Yeah, but finishers from back in the day are just regular moves now.
Well, and that's the other part, right?
Like DDTs are just given out, like, all day long.
Well, fucking Canadian Destroyers.
That! How is that not a finisher? When I see shit like that and they kick out, I'm like...
Like, that's one of those ones, like, I remember when, like, P.D. Williams started doing it, I remember just being like, holy fuck!
Yeah.
Like, whoa! And he had said, like, after, like, a couple of years, he said, like, it is annoying that other people, like, on the indies, they're doing it. And they're doing it in mid-match.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I totally understand. Like, that would be fucking annoying.
And now they all do it.
Multiple times throughout the match, too.
Yeah.
And you're just like... Especially, like Pop Rocks is her finisher.
Yep.
But
that's a finisher.
Roxanne Perez.
So she could get the 3 count with Pop Rocks, but other people can't get the 3 count with...
Yeah, but also it's like, well, if that's your finisher, then no one else should be doing it.
Yeah.
Period. Right? Like you notice how nobody did a tombstone pile driver.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Taker was doing it, right? And it makes sense. It's like, the only time I kind of let it slide is like if it's story purposes. Like if you had Ken Shamrock and Kurt Angle wrestling over who does the ankle lock. That's different.
Yeah.
Because eventually someone wins and whoever wins gets to lay claim to that, right?
I'll forever wish we got that match. That match would have been epic.
It would have been crazy.
It would have been so good.
It would have been absolutely crazy.
So fucking good.
But then again, it's also like Shamrock with a bunch of those guys from that era. Like Shamrock and Benoit would have been a nuts.
Yep.
Would have been an insane match. Especially because like the 3 guys we're talking about are also lunatics. Like in real life, they're just lunatics. Where you're just like, you don't have to kill yourself for a fake wrestling match, and they're like, yeah, I do. Right. So.
Yeah,
but like you look at like even like the F5, it's only now Zarya is the one that's doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Is it not Zarya? Zara.
No, it's Zarya, but she's doing it upside down.
She's doing it a little bit different, but
it's a little different.
It's essentially the F5.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like it'd be like if someone suddenly started doing the Soul Snatcher mid match, right? You'd be like, why would you?
Oh, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I mean, like when Damien Priest hits the Razor's Edge and they kick out, I'm like, that should not be a kick out move.
There's certain
that should not be a kick out move.
There's certain moves that you shouldn't kick out of just because, like that, especially because he got permission from Razor. Like Scott Hall before he passed was like, you can fucking use that move.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, then don't kick out of it.
Yeah.
It's like strangely enough, was it the Downward Spiral? No, what the hell, what's his face? Baron Corbin's finisher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck's it called? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But, like, I think only one person has kicked out of that.
Yeah.
And that's literally what he was. And he said, like, he literally said, hey, man, if you don't kick out of my finisher, I won't kick out of yours. And that's how he's maintained that level of protection. And I think it was, it might have been Taker, but it might have been Orton. It was just like, protect your finish. Yeah. It's like, yeah, protect your fucking finish.
Yeah.
But also, it should be a top-down thing. It shouldn't be one of those where they're like, well, I'll protect your finish, but then have 14 people on that roster. Like, everyone does a spear.
Everybody now.
Like, and...
It's just
and varying degrees of goodness, too, right? Like, it was different when you had... like Rhino's gore versus Edge's spear.
Yes.
Yeah, I still maintain Edge shouldn't have been doing a spear, especially when the gore looked incredible.
Oh, gore looked incredible.
Right?
Edge's spear when he came back was better than before he left.
Yeah, but even
Because
still,
he did that little like flip thing when he landed.
but
That
even
looked pretty
still,
cool.
it was one of those where it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just.
But then the Usos started doing it. Solo starts doing it.
Well, I mean, I like Solo, so I'm okay.
The Samoan Spear.
But no, I agree. Like, all jokes aside.
Yeah.
And I'm like a huge Solo fan.
Like Braun rocks.
Braun,
His spear is.
the fact that he's doing a spear,
and
that's
fucking hitting guys in the chest most of the time because he's
Yeah.
so fucking high.
So, like, now nobody does a spear.
Yeah.
And if you do a spear, then you win the match with it. Like,
Yeah.
that should be. So that's why I'm saying don't do it.
Why don't they do like a modified spear that's also a clothesline? A little different?
Yeah, I don't know. But, like, I also remember when it was Seth and Finn were both doing sling blades.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, but pick one.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, Finn was doing it longer, so Finn should get to do it.
Mm-hmm.
No one else. Like,
yeah, no
some
shit.
of this shit it's not hard. It's not rocket science. I guess we'll start with wrestling.
Yeah, we're in it. We're in it.
Right,
we're
in it.
deep in it. We're deep in it.
Yeah, mainly I'm gonna be complaining. I feel, but it's a weird one because I'm not complaining so much about the shows per se, but just some of the things that are happening behind the scenes. Obviously,
behind the scenes is a shit show.
It's a weird shit show.
It's like I feel it's toxicity from here.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what's like in it.
Exactly. and it's crazy how quickly it shifted. Although to be fair, when TKO and Endeavor got involved, I was like, and they brought back Vince, I was like, okay, this pretty much tells you...
It tells you what...
It tells you the type of company that you're dealing with. Like when Ari Emanuel was like, well, you can't have the WWE without Vince, it's just, that's just part of the framework type of thing. And I was like,
I mean...
It's like,
Vince will die eventually.
Yeah,
so
like, you can have
what's your plan?
Like, at one point, the WWE was, or WWF was run by Vincent Kennedy McMahon Sr., right?
Yep.
And I can guarantee you there were people that were like, well, as soon as he dies, the company dies with him. And it's like, well, okay, no.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. But, yeah, so...
You know what's bonkers to think? Just like, talk about WWF.
Yeah.
It's bonkers to think that in the 90s, we were able to watch WWF at the Gardens for $40 maybe.
Yeah.
And now it's like a year's worth of mortgage to go watch WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just the ticket.
That's just the ticket.
That's not the travel. That's not the
everything
food.
else that
That's
goes
not
with it.
Yeah, that's like...
You still got to buy the beer after you buy that $30,000 ticket.
Like, it's insane to me. But again, so like that's part actually, again, okay, so we can start with the ticket prices. So the ticket prices, especially for these premium live events,
are ridiculous.
Right? But also the flip side is that the house show circuit is gone almost completely.
Yeah.
Right? So you'd be lucky now to be able to afford to see a Raw or a SmackDown. And that's if it's not the high level, like, day one Raw. Or,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
season opening Raw or season finale Raw. Okay? Where you have 40 celebrities that are like, I'm just here.
Yeah.
Like the most recent one on Raw where they showed the two guys from that tire show on Netflix. And they both were like the one dude was literally like,
our first season was 6 episodes long. Hardly anyone watched it. We were lucky to get a second season.
Well, no, Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis guaranteed that they were going to get a second season.
It's a good show.
Hey, I love Shane Gillis.
It's a funny show.
I think he's fucking funny.
But it's just like...
But the look on the guy's face was like, how long do I have to do... Look, I'm drinking beer.
Eventually you move the camera away, right?
Right? And then, of course, they scene cut to show the announcers.
Yeah.
And then you can see the camera guy behind the announcers still filming those dudes. And I thought, holy fuck. Like, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That he was still filming. Like, there was no...
I don't know what the fuck's going on with the cameras lately. You know what pissed me off last night was when Bayley made her return. And then the camera cuts to fucking Wade and Michael.
Yeah.
And she's still in the ring. I was like... What the fuck? I want to see more of what's in the ring right now. What's going on with Lyra and Bayley?
Like, at the very least, keep showing Lyra, because at least Lyra's like, what the fuck is happening? Because I was like, oh, Bailey, and then I did the same thing. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird because of Lyra, and of course Lyra is being, because like Lyra's gotten shined up. Yep. That's actually one of the things that is a positive.
Yes.
That's one of those, like, from the show standpoint.
After her winning the title, doing nothing for months.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Well, so what they did was they flipped it, right? So, like, Lyra was doing nothing for months. Yep. Well, now Io's been doing nothing for months. Right.
She's legit, they can only have women on for so long.
But she's legit the only title holder that has not even defended the title once since WrestleMania.
Has she not defended it once?
She's not defended it once. They've legit... I just confirmed it earlier, and she hasn't even defended it once. She's wrestled in, like, multi-person matches.
Fuck, she hasn't.
And that's it. That's all. Right? Like, I was just like, what the fuck? But, like...
Meanwhile, Jay's already lost his.
Yeah. Legit.
Wins the Rumble, wins her WrestleMania, holds it for 52 days, and loses on Raw.
Which, look, I'm fine. You know, I gotta be honest with you. Like, his run was great because his run, he defended it constantly, and they never treated it like he was going to destroy everybody.
No.
Right? Like, this wasn't like a Roman or a Cody where you were like, okay. Like, unless there's certain circumstances, you were like,
yeah,
I could see this happening. Whereas with Jay, they kind of played it like he could lose any second. Like anyone who's wrestling him could beat him at any point in time. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I was super surprised that they flipped it back to Gunther and clean. You're right.
And clean. I mean, it took a bit.
Oh, no, it wasn't like... It wasn't...
And you know what? I give props to Gunther because he's brought out the best in Jay.
Yeah. Jay,
before Gunther, Jay, I was like, why the fuck would he win the Royal Rumble? He's got 2 moves.
Yeah.
Three moves.
Although, to be fair, we did know. We knew that it was going to be a good match because, like, I mean, Jay beat him for the... No, Jay didn't beat him for the... It was Sammy who beat him.
Yeah.
That's right. But still...
Yeah, I mean, Jay beat Braun.
But still... Yeah. Jay had great matches with Gunther prior to that.
Yes.
So
so he really does bring the great...
It's also Gunther, right? Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a bad Gunther match.
No.
I've never even seen a bad Gunther
I also don't
match.
want him to hold it for a year now.
Well,
I swear if he loses at next WrestleMania.
So I think actually, honestly, and I was thinking about, and this is kind of why I suggested that the cash-in might be happening on the SmackDown side. Was because, well, the easiest answer was, like, I literally was like, well, Jay retains, right? Beats Gunther clean, and then, you know, you send the dogs in, and they destroy Jay, like, pummel Jay, and then Seth just strolls in and just cashes in.
Yeah.
The dirtiest fucking cash-in, right? Like, none of this, like... you know, he just wrestled a match and then he cashes in. No, they beat him for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, wait, hold on, there's a half hour left of Raw and Jay just won, so what happens? Oh, because he gets killed for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
to the point where it becomes uncomfortable, right? Yeah. And then, you know, then it's like, okay, I'll cash in now, right? Or like, I was even saying, like, at the press conference, I thought that would be kind of an interesting way to cash in. Just have the guys show up and put him through a table.
Why does it have to be during a match?
Bloody him up, and then, you know, cash in, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that might have been why they did it, was because everyone was assuming that he's going for that one. But now I'm thinking, well, they're positioning Seth as the top heel. So Seth is going to essentially take over for Roman's spot.
Yeah.
So now they're positioning the company around Seth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be the SmackDown title.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's going to be when he goes to cash it in, that's when Roman returns.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know that, like, the theory is that Roman is going to prevent the cash in or somehow fuck Seth over. No, Seth's cashing in. And I think what's going to happen is he's going to cash in possibly on Cena, and that might be what starts to help turn Cena back to babyface. Because obviously Cena's retiring as a babyface.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
He's got, what, 18 dates it said yesterday? Left?
Yeah.
Okay, so eventually you got to start flipping it back to going face.
Yeah. Like, I know that... Like,
maybe he'll cash in on Cena on the red carpet of Peacemaker premiere.
You
Can
know,
you imagine
I
that?
honestly think like
Can you imagine?
that's
that?
what I think. Like I think at some point, like Seth's got to have an out of the box cash in,
Yeah.
and I think something like that. That's why I was suggesting a press conference or like the scrum or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, you know, Jay's like got a couple beers in him with Cody, like, we're celebrating, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Jay's dead.
Jay dead.
Jay is totally dead.
Jay dead.
And you can give Jay a break because he's been nonstop since
I think he's taking a break now.
I would.
He might even be injured. They might be writing him off for a bit.
Yeah, well, who knows,
Like
right?
not a heavy injury, but
yeah, or
Yeah.
something. But I mean, at the same time, like, let's face it, it's not like he skipped shows. He was on
yeah.
every fucking show, and sometimes twice a week because he'd be on SmackDown
Yep.
or on a premium live event or Saturday Night main event. Like, so, you know, he's fucking earned a break.
It's interesting to see LA Knight get involved with Seth's crew on Raw.
Well, I mean, you need somebody for Seth to beat,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, like the matches will be great. And Seth has a really nasty habit of leaving guys in better positions once he's done with them. He doesn't bury his opponents.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking weirdo. You know, it's not like
What are you doing?
like Roman, honestly, that was probably one of the things I hated the most was that A, you knew he wasn't gonna lose.
Yeah.
And B,
50% of
They
the
were
guys
in-
that lost went to AEW.
yeah. Or they switched shows.
Yeah.
But they never came off looking better. And like a prime example is Lyra Valkyria. She, like, honestly, I think now we start pushing her towards the main event.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought she was ready before, but they gave her the IC, and I was like, okay, yeah, fucking right, it's fucking great. And then they finally did something with it, and the program with Becky was great. The whole purpose was to push Lyra up to that sphere anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know? So, it's weird. She's doing the things that Charlotte should be doing. You know? But yeah, so, like, I'm kind of torn. Like, I like the idea of Bayley and Becky because we knew that's where that was going to go.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. But I also kind of think that this might be where we sort of not necessarily turn Bayley heel, but she's got some shades of it because she attacked Becky behind. Like, this wasn't like, hey, Becky, I'm mad at you now. Let's go fisticuffs.
I just saw
She
that.
attacked her.
I just saw that as getting back at her for attacking her
Right.
from behind.
But she's now effectively jumped over Lyra.
Yep.
Right? Because, like, Lyra wasn't like, yeah, Becky or Bayley, kick the fuck out of her. She was like, what the fuck is happening? Because she should be getting her rematch, right? But
that's triple threat.
well, possibly. But you could also spin off Bayley versus, like, if you don't, like, I'm not saying turn her heel, but if Bayley doesn't go, hey, you know, and I was a little heated, I wanted to just knock the bricks off her because she fucked me over for WrestleMania, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, you're right. Like, you definitely should get your spot, so go ahead, take that shot. It could be, she can kind of play it like, yeah, but I'm fucking Bayley.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I mean,
I beat you the last time we wrestled. So, I mean, if you want to split hairs here, I've also beaten Becky. I think she's beaten Becky. She must have beat her at least once.
Bayley?
Yeah. But now I'm not so sure.
It's hard. Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think...
Because ever since NXT, they've almost always been on opposite shows.
And also, I was kind of thinking, too, like, when Becky's face, I think Bayley's been face, and when Becky's been heel, Bayley's been heel. Or off because of life, right? So it's tough. It's tough to say. But, so this kind of, like I said, like, the show itself, for the most part, pretty fucking good. Consistently good. It's just the behind the scenes stuff where you're just like, fuck.
Well, I mean, I knew we were going to talk wrestling today.
Yeah.
My number one thing was going to be getting like fucking mad about the R-Truth situation.
Well, the R-Truth situation.
And so he's like got fired and returned since.
Well, first of all, he wasn't released. They just weren't going to re-sign his contract. So he still had time left on his contract.
Yeah. Right?
So, but I think what they were going to do were they're just going to keep him off TV and let him run out his contract. Just like with Carlito.
Yeah.
Carlito is still got time on his contract. They're just keeping him off TV.
I don't understand why they could have taken that time and wrote them off properly. And I had that conversation with you. Like, it's
Yeah.
a TV show.
Yeah.
These are fictional characters.
Yeah.
So let's treat them as such.
Yeah, like, especially now when they're really leaning into, like, oh, it's all part of the story type stuff. So, and again, they are blurring more, they're trying to blur more kayfabe, because, like, you know, like, you've got them answering tweets in character, you know, furthering storylines on TV shows. Whereas before, when, like, Triple H was on a TV show, like on Conan, he was Triple H, but he was, you know, Jean Paul or Paul Levesque. You know, you know, The Rock was The Rock / Dwayne Johnson, right? Even Stone Cold was like, I'm Steve Williams, like, you know. And they acknowledged that it was a character, and that the show was fake and yada yada yada. Whereas now we're getting back into that, like I said, I could see a cash-in happening or like an attack happening on a TV show that has nothing to do with wrestling, just because that'd be interesting, right? But the R-Truth stuff is insane. Like, absolutely insane. Don't get me wrong, I understand, okay, money. I understand that. And I understand that sometimes you gotta let people go. I understand that too. I understand that you have to look at, okay, well, how much is person A bringing in versus how much we're paying, right? Okay, I get all that. But again, it goes back to the corporation's bullshit. How can you fucking tell me that you're making money hand over fist, this is the most profitable the company has ever been, and then go, sorry guys, it's just not on the budget to keep
you got sponsors' names on the fucking tables now.
On the ladders. And the ladders. On the ladders.
Everything had a sponsorship. The turnbuckles. Everything is sponsored.
Right? Like, and again,
and it looks fucking ridiculous.
It looks ridiculous.
It looks really so fucking
But again,
stupid.
I get it. Like, I understand, okay, you guys want to maximize as much fucking money as possible. But, okay, but you have to let go of R-Truth. Like, I could cut tons of people.
There's tons of people there.
Like, nobody blinked with Valhalla. And I'm a Sarah Logan fan, but I'll tell you right now, she was off more than she was on. You know,
and she was really cool in that role with the War Raiders or
Viking Experience Raiders. Or Viking Raiders or whatever the fuck.
But now they're the War Raiders, so what was she really going to do?
Right, and also, I mean, her gimmick was ripped off from another gimmick off the indies. Like, and it was clear cut. And they really didn't do much to change it at all from that. And, like, even back in the Riot Squad, I was saying, like, Sarah Logan was the one that needed the most work. Like, no matter how you cut it, she was a little bit better than Liv in the ring, but Liv had character work even before this version of Liv, which is, like, the best version. But her character work was better. Like, Ruby Riott was the one that should have been Stardom. Like, pushed to the gills, but of course, Vince couldn't fathom anyone wanting to sleep with her, so naturally, why would you push her? Right?
She got tattoos.
Right? Whereas she had, like, the look, the promo, and the style. And even her character, well, in NXT, was better, and then, but fine. But it was kind of like...
I'm surprised Vince didn't make her the bride of The Undertaker.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like, even then, it was still, she's the weakest link. She's the one that needs the most work, and she's probably the one that's not going to go as far. So, and I mean...
And then she was gone. She had her baby. Came back.
And again, injured. I don't want anyone to get fired or lose their jobs or anything
like that. No, it seems like a lot of people are getting punished for being injured.
Well, yeah.
Which is horseshit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're human beings. They're not machines.
Well, I mean... You got Logan Paul, right?
Okay, so you got R-Truth, 17 years with the company, locker room leader. Everybody loves him.
He couldn't just run out his contract, though? Like, they couldn't just, like...
And then why have him, like, Saturday night's main event would have been the perfect spot for him to... He even had the shirt Ron Cena the last time was now. Like, it would have been perfect. But then they have him fight JC Mateo and then get fired or let go, whatever we're calling
like, however you want to word it, but also there's no place for truth. Like I get, okay,
Right.
you say, okay, well, the amount of money like he's generating versus what he's getting paid. Okay, fine.
Mm.
Like there's times where he's not on for weeks and then he pops in for a backstage.
He had the #1 selling shirt when,
Well, okay.
when they let him go.
Okay, wow. Big deal.
Doesn't make any sense.
Did he have the #1 selling shirt prior to that? No, he didn't.
You got to have merch in order to sell merch.
Okay, and you're right, but I mean, do you push merch for a guy that might show up once in a while? Right? Like, until John Cena turned heel, how often was he on TV in regularity?
Oh, weekly. He was on weekly.
Sure.
But
no further storylines, no nothing, right? So, so it's not like, it's not a shock, but you couldn't say, like, a guy like that, with that amount of time spent in WWE, you couldn't say, well, hey, look, we think it's time for you to scale back what you do for the ring and stuff like that, but we want you to be an ambassador. I mean, Titus O'Neil is still on the company.
Yeah.
He is still in the company, okay? Like, I know I'm shitting on Sarah Logan, and I don't want it to come across like that, but I am shitting on Titus O'Neil, okay?
Yeah.
That guy is on the... He's an ambassador, brand ambassador. You mean Ron Killings couldn't be that?
Yeah.
You mean Ron Killings couldn't be a fucking trainer backstage? I mean, he could... He's wrestled everybody.
I take him as a commentator.
I take him as a commentator. I take him as a backstage advisor, a matchmaker. I would take him as a guy that says, okay, man, like, you know what? I'm going to work with some of these guys that maybe don't quite have a character.
Yep.
Or maybe they have one, but it's not really working for them.
Yep.
Because, I mean, shit. He was cake quick. They let him go. And they should have. Right? Then he went to NWA, TNA.
Yeah.
Right? And became Ron the Truth Killings. And they went, oh, fuck, we fucked up. We fucked up. Right? So it's like, again, like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, big corporation's bad, although there is that aspect. But no other offer? Like, you mean to fucking tell me you couldn't find a place for him? And he was like, no, I just want to be on TV all day, every day, and I don't want to...
Yeah.
You know, like, what? Like, fuck that shit.
Nothing.
And, I mean, okay, they were trying to pin it on Trips, and they were saying, well, you know, he picked Ron. But they gave him a list. And he probably sat there and was like, well, shit, like, some of these guys are, like, we've got things in place, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it sucks, but, you know, also, I hate black people, so it makes it easy, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
If you're a black or a woman, you're likely getting fired first.
Except for Naomi, who just is black and a woman and just won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, well,
right? But
she's never been better than right now.
No.
She
never.
needed this.
Even when she won the title the first time around.
Heel turn so bad.
Even when she won the title the first time around, and it was after she became that Glow character, and she was doing it great, and it was awesome, and I'm glad she won it, but this annihilates that.
This, I was done with her last year at this time.
So was I.
I was like,
cut her. I was like, cut her.
But now, after that heel turn, the characterization, the promos, even just in the ring, she's better.
She's fucking like, that alone. Now, I mean, obviously part of that was ring rust.
Yep.
But it shouldn't have been,
considering.
Like but that's what I was going to say.
Retired. She was in TNA.
It shouldn't have been as much as it was, but she definitely looked, because we talked about this, it looked like she lost not 1 step, but 3 steps.
Yep. Whereas
now, I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh, it's so good.
Like, she's so good that they don't even really care that she lost to Jade Cargill.
No.
Because, well, I think Jade Cargill and Charlotte are going to be the finals in Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
That's what I think it's heading for. And it should be. It should be. Honestly, you know.
Yep.
And then obviously Jade wins. But I think Charlotte's going to win. Just because it's Charlotte. But like, okay, so getting back, but yeah, like, you had nothing, like, Carlito's another one, like, again, you know, it's not like Carlito was generating tons of merch for the company, but also, how much money was he really making?
Yeah.
Like, was he really breaking the bank?
It seems like ageism, like, they're just going after the old guys.
Yeah, okay, but then at the same time, like...
Unless you're Randy Orton or John Cena, you're doomed.
What about AJ Styles?
I would not be surprised if he's on a future
I honestly, considering the longevity of like R-Truth, Ron Killings, he should have had a send off more so than AJ Styles. And AJ Styles brought in money for the company. Like, I'm not going to sell him short. He's one of my favorites still to this day.
He's amazing.
Okay, although I think now he's too muscular.
He's so fucking jacked.
Like, he is so
it's crazy.
fucking.
You look like two AJ Styles.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like, did you eat AJ Styles from 5 years ago?
Like, holy shit.
And then, don't get me wrong, like, it's not like he's still doing exactly the same style.
Yeah.
But he's still doing enough where I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe you should fucking. Because, like, now I watch him in the ring and I'm just like, are you going to injure yourself again? Like, I feel bad to say that.
Yeah.
But like, when we're talking, like, future Hall of Famers, that's how you treat them?
Right.
You know, and okay, like, and I know, and I knew it too. Like, I knew they were, like, the second that I saw it, because it was spoiled to me. I didn't know the finish, but I saw a clip online of R-Truth, and I went, oh, fuck, they brought it back. And then I was like, they're going to say it's all part of the story.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to, of course, and of course, Triple H was like, well, I mean.
Enjoyed the ride?
Yeah.
You enjoying the story? On?
It's...
And then right away, Killings on Twitter is like, no work.
Yeah. His son immediately is like, nah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
It's crazy. And that main event was so boring. I was watching, I was like, the only way this can get better right now is if R-Truth somehow returns.
And it's...
And he fucking ran out.
Yeah, and the funny part is I, like...
And that's the only thing I'll ever remember about that match.
Yeah, no.
I remember nothing about it.
I actually will say, because I haven't watched it, but I've seen a couple of the clips. Someone has got to talk to Logan Paul about selling, like, facial features.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Don't look like you're fucking catatonic when you're getting nailed with this big, huge move.
Yeah.
Sell that move.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just be like, oh, that hurt. And then get up and act like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Also, he's another one. He's getting way more jacked, too. He is, like, fucking speed running muscle tears.
Yep. And he's jumping all over the place. Like, you're going to land, man, and it's going to hurt, and you're going to be out for a couple of years.
You're going to be out for a while.
Yep.
And also, but, like, he's an example where that's not for me. I was singing his praises, but then after a couple matches, you're just like, you know what to expect, right? And I know that's kind of unfair because that's like saying, well, when you watch a Randy Orton match, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
You do. You totally do.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, so that's why I kind of like, so it's not for me at this point. And I'm not even against celebrities in wrestling because that's part of it.
It's not that, though. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I today, knowing how Hulk Hogan is, if he were to come back and wrestle,
no,
I would not enjoy it.
No, me neither. Ric Flair's another one.
Whereas back in the day, I loved Hogan. He was my fucking hero.
I was a huge fan of Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warriors.
Because back then, you didn't know the real people.
Exactly. So it's like...
I know the real Logan Paul.
Yeah. Exactly. No.
He's a piece of shit.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
So, I mean, yeah, okay, you're really good in the ring, but... legit wrestlers are losing their jobs, so you could be fucking on board. Get out of here with that shit.
I did get a kick though when they said they were gonna reevaluate Roman Reigns' contract. The second I saw that, immediately I was like, "Yeah, okay,
yeah,
okay."
You better go back on your words real fucking quick, man. If that's
basically, all that was just it was the same thing as being like, well, you know, Triple H was given a list.
Yep.
It's also the same thing about how like. I mean, Nick Khan was the one that reached out to smooth things over. It's just like...
which apparently pissed off Triple H, because now his creative is fucked.
But it's like... okay.
Is it really, though?
Yeah, is it?
Your creative sucks for the most part.
So, and I don't even
think... at this point, Triple H should go run NXT and bring Shawn Michaels over, because that fucker knows what he's doing.
I disagree. I don't think... because I think a lot of this is still, like, it's no different than if Vince McMahon was running it.
I don't know, man.
I think, because, well, no, Triple H is beholden to these TKO guys. Yeah. And the TKO guys are definitely beholden to shareholders. Mm-hmm. So they're going to sit there and crunch numbers.
Yeah.
But
they're going to be like, this is who you can work with, and you got to make gold with that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Like, his first year was incredible, but his first year was wrapping up Vince's stories. Second year, it's fucking sucked. Ever since that first Netflix on Raw, It's been a rough year.
But is that Triple H though? Is that
if you're in charge of creative?
Because like I watched that show and that was a Rock show. That was a Rock, and it was a shareholder show.
Yeah, well, maybe it is a Rock thing, but
I think that
his name is on it.
I think that is part of it.
He's the executive producer at the end of every episode.
It's
him.
I don't think it's as cut as dry as you're making it out to be.
I think it probably isn't, but he's the poster child for it. So
I know. I know. Believe me. Believe me. But this is different than when it's Vince. Like when it's Vince, you're like, well, it's Vince.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're like, and when Vince was gone and before TKO,
yeah,
it was Triple H. And you're right. Like, yeah, he was wrapping up a lot of the stuff that they were doing, like Vince was doing.
Yeah.
But some of that stuff was Vince in partnership with these guys too.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I don't think that that's what's happening. I also think that's one of the reasons why Roman has stepped away as much is because, like,
he's not enjoying himself.
I don't think he was in a position. I think he's in a position now where, like, he's like, yeah, okay, but like, if he were to suggest, well, I think we should do this, this, and this, I think they would go, cool, no.
No, you can have a hair versus hair match with Seth.
Yeah, like. I don't think it's as cut and dry as making it out to be all on Triple H.
I know there's all kinds of fucking puppeteers now with TKO, but
you're right. Like, I mean, he is the face of it, right?
He's the face of it, and maybe that's shitty for him. But
to say that Shawn Michaels is booking NXT better, I disagree. Because there's still I watch NXT and there's a lot of shit that I'm like, ugh. Like Chase U is back, and Chase U sucked to begin with. But they bring it back?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
The women's division is solid, okay? But now, Vicair's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Julia's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne finally is gone.
Finally.
Okay.
They got rid of Cora.
Grace is soon to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like there's no way around it.
But now you got Sol Ruca in there, and you got
Sol Ruca,
Zarya, and you got
Zarya,
Kalani. You got Mariah.
Kalani Jordan should have been.
You got Mariah May coming in.
Mariah May is the one they're going to push it around, and they should. But she isn't going to be in NXT for 3-4 years. You're not going to be.
No, it'll be like Julie and Stephanie.
Yeah, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here.
Oh yeah.
But then I look at like a guy like Ethan Page, and I'm like, well, why isn't he on the main roster now?
If he's not on the main roster by now, he's doomed.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like,
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like I was sitting there going like, fuck yeah, Ethan Page, But I was like, the second after his first year in NXT, I was like, he should have been main roster.
Yeah.
Easily. I mean, Ricky Saints is going to be main roster when he comes back from his injury.
Yeah.
Like, simple as that. And for good reason, too. Like, again, like, I don't want to make it seem like, he should be toiling away in NXT. No.
Yep.
He's tailor-made for WWE's main event. I actually see him as a SmackDown guy. I think that would work for him.
Yeah, I think so, too.
But, like, you have Sol Ruca, you have Zarya, yes, and Kalani Jordan. Kalani Jordan should be pushed higher or harder than she is.
Yep.
Which is very unfortunate that she isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, Lola Vice?
Yeah, Lola's good.
Lola, I personally don't think she's good. I think she's okay.
And Jada's getting called up?
I don't think Jada's getting called up any too. I don't think she should either.
Because she's good.
She's good, but she's not quite there.
It's a really solid division.
But the other drawback, though, is that it's not like the main roster division is lacking, right?
Right.
And especially now with the secondary titles, which I think, like I said, I think Julia beats Vega for the U.S. And she should. I mean, Vega's had a decent run.
Yep, she should.
They've done nothing to really bury her, but at the same time, she's been feuding with Chelsea for too long.
Yep.
And the Secret Herbalist for too long. Like, for it to go this long without a flip title, like a flip back or whatever, it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Because you killed both of them now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, both of them are kind of... So, Julia beating Vega...
Yep.
And Julia will make Vega look good. Like, just so we're clear, this isn't going to be like an annihilation. Vega's going to come off looking like a star. But I think that's pretty much it. And then you have Rhea versus Julia feuding
Yeah.
for the secondary title, just like Becky and Bailey, right? Because the women's title, the title runs, the actual main titles are locked up. Naomi's winning. There's
Oh, yeah.
no way she's not cashing in on Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
Although I would kind of like it if Naomi challenged Tiffany, but doesn't cash in and beats her clean. Well, not beats her clean, cheats, but now has a belt and the briefcase.
I was thinking.
So the second that Belair beats her, she fucking cashes in, like, beats the shit out of her,
Yeah.
cashes in and takes it right back and be like, oh, sorry, I still got the
I would keep Belair out till after SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
I would have Jade win Queen of the Ring.
Yep.
I would have her go to SummerSlam against Tiffy.
Yep.
Beat Tiffy.
Oh, and then get cashed in on.
Cash in on
Ooh,
Jade.
I like that. Yes, I like that. Because it does kind of, it ties up a couple of things, too.
Yeah.
And it kind of sticks it to Belair, or to Cargill, because she...
Now Naomi has the title, and Bianca
she shouldn't have beat her,
Yeah.
but she did, and that's fine. And luckily, Naomi was so good with this heel turn that it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Lost. Normally, that would kind of kill
Mm-hmm.
the new heel in her footsteps, but this worked out fine. Yeah. What else is really shitty about? I think that's pretty much it. It's just the practices. It's the shitty practices because it reminds me of like COVID era Vince.
Yeah.
Where he was cutting people left and right. Like Braun Strowman was cut because he was injury prone and he had a high salary. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, he was hired back at that higher salary.
Yes.
Second of all, when he injured himself, when he came back, what was the first thing you guys did? You made him run around the ring for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
The entire arena.
The whole arena.
So it's like, it was only a matter of time before he was going to hurt himself again.
He was fighting on cars and going through walls. And it's, he's a big dude to begin with. Yep.
He wasn't a young guy when he showed up in WWE the first time around.
Nope.
Then he went off to do his change your narrative bullshit.
He did that.
But also, Karrion Kross is another one where you're like, the guy is so over.
The crowd is cheering when he comes on.
Nobody, but he doesn't wrestle. He had that one match with AJ Styles, and that's it. He's on all the time, and it's great, and it's awesome, but...
They had him on weekly when nobody gave a fuck about
exactly
the Last Testament.
Exactly. And now that they finally are all over him...
His shirt's selling like hotcakes.
Then what do? We LA Knight him, where he's over, and then we wait 6 months, maybe a year, and then finally put the belt on him.
Yeah.
So people are like, yeah! But they weren't... Like, when they should have done it, they would have exploded.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what they're doing is so weird. Chad Gable's a prime example. He's on the run of his career. He's wrestling.
Yep.
Unbelievably good.
Did that match at Worlds Collide?
Woo! And yet, I hate the gimmick, which I don't think I'll ever like the gimmick for a long period of time anyway.
I've always hated that, though.
That's same here.
They put a mask on Hogan or Owen Hart. It doesn't
funny
matter.
At first, and then after a while, I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. Like it's not as funny as you guys think it is.
It's stupid.
And then, but like, imagine if he beat Gunther for the IC belt.
Mm-hmm.
Or he was the guy that took the belt off of Gunther at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And he was a babyface. And they pushed it, like, again, same thing. Like, they waited, then they cooled him off, and then now they're reheating him, and they're lucky that he's relatively been injury-free for the most part.
Yep.
Plus, he's just a generational talent. Like, let's be real here.
Even Otis was getting, like, crazy pop.
He could have been a high-level babyface.
And what did they do? They pushed that aside so Chad could fight the Wyatts. And then they go back to it when no one gives a fuck anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Wyatts is another one. Like, I understand, okay, what's-his-face was injured or whatever. But you couldn't do vignettes.
Something.
You couldn't have the other guys do shit. Yeah. And now they come back and they're going to own the tag division?
There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
One's a woman.
Yeah, you could have
what's going on?
One lock down the women's title.
Yeah.
There's 2 different women's title that this person can go after. And it's not like Nikki Cross is terrible in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
She's fucking really good.
It's so stupid.
But like,
they should be going to take. They should be going after anybody and everybody.
it shouldn't even be a belt thing. It
Yeah.
should just be like, we just do whatever the fuck we want.
Seth's crew, they're not scared.
Yeah.
Solo's crew, they're not scared.
Why would they be?
Yeah. That's exactly how it should be.
So it's all these little things that I'm just like, fuck. And it, like I said, it reminds me of 2020 COVID era WWE where you're like,
yeah, that's
okay.
where it's like, I feel it now. Like, I was so pumped 4 or 5 years ago to start watching wrestling again, and now I'm starting to feel that burnout again.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, last Monday I skipped it. I was like,
I know, yeah. I remember that one. I watch it, but you know what? A lot of the stuff now is like, I am watching it in the background. I'll perk up for certain matches or certain segments.
Yep.
But otherwise, it's on, but I'm just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah.
Right? Or I'm actually skipping through shit. Because I'm just like, yeah, I know how this is going to go. I don't really...
Yeah, I do that too. Just
because it's like, eh.
Yep. So...
Like, it's just so weird. And then, you look at AEW, and I'm like, fuck, how the fuck do we watch AEW? Because I kind of want to...
I want to watch some AEW.
Take a break from WWE for a bit.
I want to watch some AEW.
Watch AEW and just kind of go from there.
Well, we can't. We can pay for the pay-per-views off Prime.
Yeah.
But we can't watch the weekly shows anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Clips on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, that's cool and all. But,
yeah.
You know, like, because, again, that's another stacked roster, period.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. You've got Swerve, you've got Hangman, you've got Kenny Omega, you've got Okada, and then you got the Young Bucks, which isn't for everybody, but I mean, they're
Tony
there.
Storm.
And of course, my favorite wrestler of all time right now, Tony Storm. Yep. And they managed to rehab the CEO, Mercedes Moné, where now I'm no longer shit-talking her. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, give her every fucking belt on the fucking planet, because what's going to happen? She's going to have to lose to somebody.
Yep, Bailey.
You know? And, yeah. But I mean,
when
like,
she's released.
When she's going to start dropping these belts, and every single woman that beats her is going to have a great match for one.
Yep.
And their star's going to rise because of it, because they beat Mercedes Moné, who's on an absolute career high run for her. And I thought you couldn't top the run with her and Bailey during the COVID era. And honestly, it looked like she wouldn't, because when she came back with that injury, it was rough. Her wrestling sucked. Her promos sucked. Her CEO character is the boss. Like, it's no different.
No.
But now I'm like, okay, it's fucking... I'm tuning in. I'm like, yeah. And honestly, I'm calling for her to beat Tony Storm. She has to beat Tony Storm. There's no way around it.
Oh.
She has to beat Tony Storm. And then Athena destroys her. Just beats the bricks off her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I wish we could watch that.
And that's the other one, too. Like, Athena is another one that I absolutely love.
Well, I heard that she might be coming back to WWE.
I haven't heard that. What I heard was one of the reasons why she's been on ROH for so long was because her WWE run, her Ember Moon character, didn't go as well as she wanted it to, so she ended up getting anxiety and self-esteem issues.
Oh.
So it was her building herself back up. So I actually think that she's going to go main roster AEW and run roughshod there, and she should. She's
oh yeah, she's great.
She's been so good. Like
she was awesome as Ember Moon. So I don't know.
Well, NXT Ember Moon was awesome.
Yeah, well, yeah,
she was good on the main roster, but it was one of those where like you just know there's certain characters, certain looks that they have that you're just like under certain people like Vince and. Fucking Bruce Pritchard is still there, so it's not like we're that far removed from Vince stuff.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, Vince and Bruce are talking about WWE stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So on some level, like I said, I think Vince has his hands in this shit. And that's the other part, like I was saying, we can't exactly hang this all on Triple H, because I do think, on some level, Vince is involved. They just can't, they won't ever say it. Because some of the stuff that they're doing feels Vince-like.
It's tough to say.
It is. You're right. Like,
Triple H was taught under Vince.
Well,
Preacher's
and that's
there
right.
still. So
Exactly.
You're still going to have that Vince flavor.
And I am talking on my ass. Like, I'm not saying anything that this is just a feeling that I have. Like, I'm not saying this is fact verbatim or whatever.
Yeah.
This is just a feeling I have. There's just certain things that are happening that I go, this kind of feels like a Vince move. But you're right. Like, 100%. And, like, Trips was always a Vince guy anyway. Like, yes, he was an NWA guy coming up. But he only ever wanted to work in WWF.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be real.
And how young was he when he got to WWF?
Yeah.
So you might as well just say he spent his whole career there.
Oh, I know he was a Harley Race guy, but I guarantee you his Harley Race stuff was from WWF. And, and yes, he was an NWA Ric Flair guy, but again, he didn't go to WCW because WWF. He went to WCW because WWF didn't want him.
Yeah.
Because he had the Killer Kowalski get into that one there, but let's like Terra Rising? Come on. Come on.
Terra Rising.
But like, it's just, it's tough. Like, I do feel like, like you said, like, I also have to agree, I'm getting to that point where I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. And TNA, TNA is one of those ones where I'm like, good for them.
Yep.
But like I saw an interview, Ariel Milwani with Shotzi, where he tries so hard to get these people to say they're going to go to AEW or go to TNA. But like, I think it was Shotzi that said, I don't know about TNA because it might as well be WWE. Like, it's WWE Light or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have a pipeline anyway. Yeah. Right? Like, Joe Henry is obviously going to be in the King of the Ring tournament. Mm-hmm. And he's pretty much...
Oh, yeah? You think he's the question mark?
I do. I think he's a question mark. If he isn't, I don't know who else it could be. Maybe Obafemi? Maybe. Obafemi would be the only one that I could think of.
Omos?
No. Omos is done. Omos is done.
Saudi would want to pay for the Giant.
Yeah, I think he's done. I honestly think he's done. But that's another example. You cut our truth. But
well,
you
the
kept
question
Omos.
mark. When I saw the question mark, I thought right away it'd be Ron Killings.
No, I disagree.
No.
Nope, I disagree.
How about Karen Cross?
Nope. I don't. I honestly, I think it's Joe Henry. And here's the thing about Ron Killings. Here's the thing. Sure, they brought him back, but for how long?
Well,
they didn't talk contract. We don't know.
I read 3 years. 3 years, and this is your final run, like right in the contract.
Yeah. That's for sure, and that's one of the reasons why he went with Ron Killings, so he could build that name up, which is fine with me. That's fine, but WWE doesn't give a fuck about contracts anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay,
that's true.
They could.
You have to stick to your contract, but they don't have to.
Exactly. I have to work there for 3 fucking years, and I have to do everything I can. And if I get injured, they have the option to extend my contract by the amount of time that I was injured, and they don't give a fuck who you are. They did it to Ray. They did it to Ray fucking Mysterio. Okay, but yeah, if I want to go elsewhere, they'll be like, no. First of all, no, you're with us for 3 years. Plus 90 days. Because you can't work anywhere else for 90 days. But we could drop you at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
I mean, Braun Strowman was in the middle of a 3-year contract. Gone.
How do you live like that?
Like, fuck, man. It's just like that's the one thing I'll never understand. That's also kind of why I'm like, especially now, because again, we say this all the time, but like, I don't know that I would give 2 weeks notice these days. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you ain't giving me 2 weeks notice when you let me go.
No.
You don't sit there and be like, okay, Chris, it's not working out. We're going to give you 2 weeks to kind of shop around, and then of course after that, your vacation, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, hey, Chris. No. We're letting you go.
You come in on a Friday like everything's good and normal, and you're going home at lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or going home at like 4:30.
Yeah.
4:30, 4:45, the last thing.
Yeah,
by the way, you're done. Yeah,
we're done. Did you get your pay stub? No? Oh, here you go. It's got a pink slip attached to it.
Don't worry, the vacation pay, that check is in the mail.
Yeah.
It takes some time to process that one.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have no issues with my job by any means. Like, this isn't me being a disgruntled employee. This is me being a fucking, in my 40s guy who's watched companies do this all the time. Yep. And you know what?
once you get to your 40s,
why should I give you 2 weeks?
I don't give a fuck anymore.
I gave Power Center 2 weeks. Although, to be fair, if I had to do it all over again, I would give them 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I would give them 2 weeks.
It depends on the experience you get.
I mean, yeah, the last couple years that I was there wasn't the greatest, but part of it was also my mindset, and my mental health and my physical health and all that shit. Like, I wasn't taking care of myself, so in effect, it snowballed and caused problems elsewhere. I can accept that, and that is a company. Like, well, I shouldn't say. Well, it's a company. That is a place that, like, it's almost like you really, really, really have to fuck up before they'll fire you.
Yeah.
You know, like, I got written up once, and even in the write-up, it was literally like I'm sorry, like, I really didn't want to have to do this, but so-and-so was really pissed. And as soon as he said so-and-so, I went, yeah, that tracks. So I was like, okay. All right. No, like, oh, not signing this. I was just like, okay, fine. And that was it. Like, there was no, like, I didn't walk out of that meeting like, oh, fuck that guy. But there was, you know, obviously a couple of conversations where I was just like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you to do this? But again, my mindset, the place that I was at was not good. So it's like, so for them, I would give 2 weeks. For BrokerLink, if you guys are watching, I'll give you 2 weeks. I probably won't. But again, like, I don't hate it. I don't hate the job or anything, but it's just at the drop of a hat they'll fire you.
I got this stupid work ethic in me that I wish I didn't have sometimes. It's like I even gave Chloe 2 weeks.
I know. Yeah.
And those motherfuckers deserve nothing.
No, they 100% did not.
Nothing.
100% they did not. But I mean, at the same time, like you said, it's a case-by-case basis. Like, the Power Center, if I had to do it all over again, I would give them 2 weeks' notice. And I probably would have handled the whole transition from there to BrokerLink. I would have handled that better. I 100% would have handled that better. But yeah, you know, so I mean, again, sure, they signed Truth for 3 more fucking years, and they established that this is it, but...
Wink, wink.
You know.
Now get some shirts out and watch those bitches sell.
Yeah, but then still cut them.
But still cut them, yeah.
But, I'll save this. This is the one thing I was saving, unless you have anything else. Because this is ending on a positive note, unless you have anything else. Which will wrap up almost an entire hour devoted to this. I watched the clock.
Look at you.
I watched the clock.
Look at you.
Fucking rights.
No, I think I'm good. I'll probably think of something after. But no, right now I think I'm okay.
We got 6 minutes, so take some time.
Okay. Okay. Well, here's just a question I'm pondering, okay?
Yep.
So Cena's got roughly half a year left.
Yep.
He's likely not going to hold the title to the end.
SummerSlam is where I envision him losing the title.
Yeah.
Now, originally, I envisioned it being Cody taking it from him.
Yeah.
But now I envision it being
Seth
with some sort of
and it kind of writes itself, right?
Yep.
Because John wants to ruin wrestling, Seth wants to save it.
Yep.
And they're both assholes while doing it.
Exactly. Yep. So, and then, of course, we end up with Seth versus Cody at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Which is a marquee match.
Yep.
And Seth will retain, which is something that we haven't seen in a long time, aside from, I mean...
So you think Roman. Seth and Cody?
I do think
I really think Seth and Roman is going to be where it goes. That has to come to it.
Does it have to come to this one, though?
Well, I mean, it's in Vegas. We'll see what they want.
Yeah, that's true. The only reason
what's the billionaire clubs want?
I kind of feel like the only reason I say Cody is because Cody, Seth's never beat Cody.
No.
In fact,
never.
Cody beat Seth 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Which never happens.
One's with a torn pec.
Never. That never happens.
No, never. Okay? Usually it's
one, and then a tiebreak.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's Seth wins the first one, and then it's a clean sweep for the rest. Yep. It's not 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the reasons. But I keep forgetting about Roman because he hasn't been on for a while. So you're right. That is a big marquee match.
Yeah, we're getting to the summer, and that's usually when he starts popping his head out again.
Well,
he takes his break after WrestleMania.
I mean, for a guy that his wrestling style is 40 minutes and it's like 10 minutes of warm up, it must take a lot out of him.
It's gotta.
It's
gotta.
At one point, he was carrying around 3 fucking belts.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight. Oh wait, Paul's carrying.
Well, but he had he had this, but of course, again, Paul was carrying him too. But still, so yeah, you're right.
So here was my question.
Yep.
So we had John and Randy one more time.
Yep.
We had him with Truth.
Yep.
We're getting Punk one more time.
Yeah. Which, it's funny that it's in Saudi, but okay, fine. Whatever.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to write Punk going to Saudi. That's the only way he can get a title shot. Yeah,
but I mean, for the ones that look at Phil, see, the problem with Phil Brooks and CM Punk is that he made it so blurred the lines where it was like, if I say this is CM Punk, I'm saying this is Phil Brooks.
Yeah.
Right? And this is kind of where it's going to start to bite him in the ass, because Phil Brooks, I bet you Phil Brooks really doesn't want to go there. Because of all the things that he has said and all the and all the gross shit that's happening there. Yeah. But I mean, Sammy went. So he might just say, you know what, I thought of it this way.
The women are going.
But I'm thinking, how do you affect change? By sitting on your couch? No. By getting out there, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's probably the way he's looking at it.
So there's ways around it. But I do like your idea, and I thought that was a nice touch. Yeah, I'll see you in Saudi then, fucker.
Yeah, fucker.
So
okay, so he's getting Punk one more time.
Yep.
Where else does John go for the rest of his year? Because I had in my mind that it was always going to wrap up with Punk and Randy and Truth, and he's writing them all off at the beginning of this. So where do you think he goes?
Well, The Miz is still hired.
You think he's going to wrestle The Miz?
He had a storied feud with The Miz.
Okay.
Yeah. Rock's always floating around. I mean, we so super need a match between those two.
Yep.
That'll take 3 hours of WrestleMania. So,
that's night one alone.
Yeah, that's night one alone. And that's just them getting to the ring.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cena versus Logan Paul.
Yeah, especially with the way they were back and forth.
If Cena turns babyface, which I think is inevitable.
Yep.
So how do you really hammer home Cena's babyface turn? Throw him at Logan Paul, or throw Logan Paul at him, right? AJ Styles, I think, is another one.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good run, those two. So and Roman again. So that's okay.
Yeah.
Here's
how
I ended off. 8 o'clock, 1 hour.
Okay.
I mean, the inspiration is back.
Oh,
yay!
Yes,
fucking right.
Yes. Oh man, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
So busy focusing on the negatives.
Right. Fuck. Gotta end on a positive note.
Huge positive.
Iconic.
Huge.
Absolutely huge. And thanks, guys, for hanging out for that hour of wrestling.